The WNBA Finals is in full swing, and the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx are tied up 1-1. And in the midst of the WNBA Finals, Brianna Stewart, the forward from the New York Liberty, wife, has received a vicious email saying, "I hope you both die." But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend. Well, the New York Liberty's superstar player, Brianna Stewart, is in the middle of playing in the WNBA Finals, and her wife has received a vicious email. Somebody has sent an anti-gay email to her wife saying some explicit things. Now, I don't know what it is about Brianna Stewart around the WNBA Finals. We did a show last week after the New York Liberty knocked off the Las Vegas Aces to advance to the WNBA Finals. And Brianna Stewart was very emotional because last year when they played the Las Vegas Aces in the championship game, a lot of flack and a lot of heat was thrown at Brianna Stewart because of her play. She shot a dismal percentage from the field, and she just wasn't doing things that a superstar player in Brianna Stewart is capable of doing. Now, she's probably one of the most decorated, WNBA superstars we have in the league right now. She has 6 championships, 4 collegiately and 2 in the WNBA. And last year against the Las Vegas Aces, she came up with a choke job. And a lot of people was giving her flack. A lot of people was going at her. A lot of people was destroying her. Mainly it came from the Las Vegas Aces, the team in general. Becky Hammon was throwing her shots, and everybody was just letting loose on Brianna Stewart. And we didn't know why they was doing that. And we didn't know why Brianna Stewart was playing the way that she was playing. So after they defeated the Las Vegas Aces in the semifinals to move on to the finals, she was very emotional at the post-game press conference. And she said last year, a lot of people was coming at her and she was going through something. And at the time last year, her wife, father had passed away. So Brianna Stewart was going through a lot of things and people was poking fun at her, not knowing. And now it's a year later and she just now bringing that up. So she held all that in until she beat the Las Vegas Aces. Now it comes to today. She's playing in the WNBA Finals again. And now her wife has received a vicious email. Now, I don't want no excuses that if the New York Liberty lose to the Minnesota Lynx in the WNBA Finals and Brianna Stewart comes up short again, I don't want no excuses. I don't want this to be an excuse that she had a distraction, that, she had to be there for her wife. She had to protect her wife and things like that. I don't want no excuses. But people on the internet do some crazy things, man. And this is what the WNBA has been going through all year long about these death threats and these vicious emails being sent to certain athletes. And we cover the story all the time. Mainly the stuff that has been sprued around toward Angel Reese. And people would like to say that, she's playing victim. But I want to see if people say that Brianna Stewart is playing victim. So there's a vicious email that was sent out to her. And this has been covered by the New York Post. So let's take a look at what, this email entailed. Let's take a look at it. This is an exclusive. WNBA superstar Brianna Stewart's wife hit with a vicious anti-gay email. "I hope you both die." An anonymous homophobic sent a vicious anti-gay email to the wife of WNBA superstar Brianna Stewart, and it's apparently not the first time, the Post has learned. Stewart's wife, former pro basketball player Marta X-Gay, Casa Dermott, walked into the NYPD's 78th precinct in Brooklyn on Thursday to report the heinous email, which said, "I hope someone shoots your wife dead. F you, dykes. I hope you both die," among other things, police sources said. Sources added that the memo by the NBA security said the email was sent from an internet address that was been associated with other hateful missives, included death threats, bomb threats, and more racist rhetoric. Now that's sad. Now, this is what we come to, man. The WNBA, these ladies are out there trying to provide for their family. And you know, the LGBT community, which Brianna Stewart and her wife are a part of, they stick together. And a lot of people don't condone the things that these women are doing in the WNBA. Majority of the WNBA players are associated with the LGBT community. And that's their prerogative and that's their preference. But for people to going around with these hate emails and these death threats and wishing people would, die, that's asinine, man. The WNBA, I know they trying to do better, but I think this is out of the WNBA's hand. You can't control what people are doing on the internet and sending all this hateful things to certain players. Now, like I said, Brianna Stewart's in the midst of playing in the WNBA finals. This is 2 years in a row that she's had some type of distraction. Last year, the passing of her father-in-law. Now this year, her wife is getting, vicious emails and death threats. But this is, putting Brianna Stewart in the middle of it because she's associated with Marta. And she's the one that received the email. But it said both. So, I hope Brianna Stewart, keeps her focus and goes out there and handles business and strives to do what she set out to do this year in the WNBA finals, bringing the championship to the New York Liberty. That's her main prerogative. She's focused. And, the first game, she choked. She choked away the first game. She came up big in the second game, 7 steals, but she still didn't play well. Now she got to go into Minnesota on Wednesday, and you still back home court. She's very more than capable of doing that, but with these distractions, we'll never know. We'll see how Brianna Stewart plays on Wednesday. But like I said, I don't want no excuses because, we see it's out there now. So this one's out there, but last year in the WNBA finals, it wasn't out there. We didn't know what the problem was with Brianna Stewart. And she didn't, speak about it until a year later until she beat the Las Vegas Aces. But things that are going on the internet that are threatening people's lives and stuff like that, we don't condone that. You know what I'm saying? The anti-gay stuff that's being thrown at these women in the WNBA just because of their preference, it needs to stop. Just live your life. All this hateful stuff that's going on in the world and all this hateful stuff that's going on in the WNBA. And when we talk about it, people always say certain individuals are playing victims. No, they're not playing victims because the source is out there. Like Brianna Stewart said, she got the receipts. And her wife walked into the 78th precinct in New York, in New York. So it's a report out there. So, I just like to say that, when we talk about things like this, stop saying that, certain individuals are playing victims. The receipts are out there. And this is an unfortunate situation that's happened to Brianna Stewart. I hope she keeps her focus. And I hope she goes out there and plays well on Wednesday and puts this behind her. But you got to protect your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? And she's involved too. You don't want this thing to escalate, and you don't want this thing to turn ugly because you know how people are in the world. This world is filled with a lot of hate. So you guys let me know what y'all think down in the comment sections about the vicious email that Brianna Stewart's wife has received pertaining both of them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces. And remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscription button. Turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. And do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up. I see everybody in the comments section. #salute. And we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.